would seem to be an impossible circle, excuse me, to square. I mean, after all, phase two requires heavy lifting from both Hamas and Israel, and one coalition partner, headed by Itamar Ben-Gvir, has already left the government. A second, Bezalel Smotrich, is threatening to do so unless Netanyahu resumes the war. So the real question, I think, is this: can Netanyahu persuade Trump to give him time and space to try to manage, at least buy time, in the second phase? Remember, the deal calls for a second phase negotiation to begin yesterday, but it also says that as long as the negotiations continue, the ceasefire will as well. So I could see the prime minister trying to buy time. But again, this is happening against the backdrop of two individuals, I would argue, don't like each other and who don't trust one another. And there's a backstory with respect to Trump. Netanyahu angered him by congratulating Joe Biden early, failing to embrace Trump's narrative of a false, a stolen election. And Trump also blames Netanyahu for trying to leverage his peace plan into annexing the West Bank. So no love lost here. This is not Joe Biden and Benjamin Netanyahu. Donald Trump is a transactional man. He wants a deal. He may care about Israel, but he cares far more about Donald Trump. And I think that is a problem for the prime minister.
And look, if Trump is going to put significant pressure on Netanyahu for a Gaza deal, I wonder where you think that leaves what's happening in the West Bank, where right now we have Israel engaging in a major military operation in Jenin.
If Trump is going to leverage Netanyahu on Gaza, he's not going to agree to the Israeli right wing's offers of annexation, but he will, in my judgment, provide the current government with a large room of maneuver, both to pursue their security interests on the West Bank and obviously to continue Smotrich and Ben-Gvir's policies of wanting to annex the West Bank in everything but name. I think Donald Trump will give this government more room to maneuver on the West Bank if he's pressing on Gaza.
Just a final thought for you then. I mean, you've worked as a negotiator, an advisor to a number of administrations in the past on the Middle East. I just wonder, look, if you were sitting down with this US president today before his meeting with Netanyahu, how would you suggest he handles it?
You know, Donald Trump has no conception, in my judgment, of the national interest, or certainly not a defined conception. When it comes to foreign policy, most of what he believes is tethered to his own financial interests, his political interests, his vanities, his whims and fancies. Look, Arab-Israeli peace, Israeli-Palestinian peace, devoted most of my professional life unsuccessfully, I might add, to furthering that objective. I think Trump has to be smart. I think he has to be tough. He also has to understand, though, that this has got to be a balance of interests, whether it's Netanyahu or Yair Lapid or whoever the Israeli prime minister is. In the wake of October 7, Israelis and Palestinians are both traumatized, and the margin and the space for a conflict-ending solution, choosing my words very carefully, conflict-ending solution, I think here is very, very small. Create a pathway which over time, with a vision, might lead Israelis and Palestinians to a better place. But try not to push. We do not need, above all, another failed U.S. peace plan.